ReZero, Side Story, Hansel and Gretel.
Nay summer, I hear there exists a mansion made out of candy in the forest. Looking happily at Rem, who said that with gleaming eyes, Ram quietly replied with I see to her cute little sister. A candy house, how very unrealistic. That may be the case. But, the one who told me that was Subaru-kun. I don't believe Subaru-kun to be someone who would lie. I see, Barusu said that. What a nuisance. Remembering the black-haired boy's idiotic face, Rem whispered that in annoyance. Subaru lived in the vicinity of the two's house. He was a troublemaker who dealt out a number of tales he got from who knows where. While Ram believes them all to be tall tales, Rem is very interested in Subaru. As such, she tries to believe his tales whenever she can. Each time, Ram works hard to get Rem to reconsider, while trying to keep her innocence intact. What an annoying man. I wish he'd suffer a horrible experience and have nobody believe him thanks to his tall tales, right now. Still, let us leave aside whether Ram's wish right now comes to pass, and whether or not several days later there is an episode where the aforementioned Subaru comes crying, a wolf is coming. And nobody believes him. In any case, nay summer, I want to find that candy house for Subaru-kun's sake. Otherwise, people will continue to treat poor little Subaru as a liar. Ram believes that to be an appropriate treatment, though, not at all. Subaru-kun is amazing. He's definitely going to become a fine person who will achieve great things in the future. He has a criminal disposition. He's dangerous. Ram's internal stock of Subaru continues to lower the more Rem passionately defends him. However, undeterred by Ram's curt attitude, Rem adorably squeezes a fist and, in any case, Rem has decided. Tomorrow she will find that candy house, for Subaru-kun. Rem, I don't really want to tell you this but, while sorry to the enthusiastic Rem, a candy house in the middle of the forest is just something too unnatural, a tall tale far too removed from reality to need verification, and while she wants to gently dampen her spirits as much as she can without hurting her adorable little sister, listen, okay. What Barusu said is, will you come as well, nay summer? Rem feels a bit uneasy going alone, so I'd be glad if nay summer could come as well. Whatever will I do with you? Being told that by Rem with an uneasy look, Ram instantly retracted her opinion from just before. As soon as she did, Rem looked overjoyed, which to Ram was satisfactory. Of course, while they're not going to be finding a candy house, if she thinks about it as going out with Rem on a picnic with a little lunchbox, it doesn't sound too bad. Of course, I will give Barusu his just desserts at a later date. Let's do our best, nay summer. We'll bring back that candy house for the sake of Subaru-kun. A magnificent goal, a declaration of excitement from the little sister at the prospect of her older sister accompanying her. Hearing that, Ram smiled, and was caught in the careful selection of the contents of tomorrow's lunchbox. The next day, the two having now prepared their lunchboxes, split off from their worried eldest sister, and set out on their journey. Come back before it gets dark. Ram, make sure to look after Rem. Rem, please listen to what Ram tells you, so said the always anxious worrywart eldest sister. The youngest sister had much more guts, in comparison, as she saw them off with bring back a souvenir. Anyhow, they saw their sisters off in such a way, and Ram entered the forest. For Ram, if they can end this at some fitting spot, and sate Rem's adventurous spirit, then that'd be best. But well, we're not going to be finding a candy house, so we can just take this easy, and the adventure started with that intention. Nay summer, look. A candy house. That it is, Ram answered with indignation at Rem, who pointed a finger at the house visible from between the trees, with an excitable voice. What stood in a break in the tree line, with a roof made of chocolate, walls made of pastry, and windows made of candy, was a candy house. Not having expected to encounter an actual one, Ram's mind was at the edge of complicated confusion. Rem, overjoyed over having found the candy house, was lovely. As a big sister, that made her very happy, while on the other hand, she felt displeasure at the fact that since Subaru's tale was proven to be true, Rem will continue to indulge Subaru going forward, and there was also the bothersomeness of not being able to dismiss his statements as falsehoods anymore. Could it be that we should also believe his story about the rescued turtle taking you to a castle within the ocean? I knew that what Subaru-kun said was true. Let's bring this back to the village immediately. Will one of those doors made of chocolate bars suffice? Sure will. Cutting short her worthless thoughts for just a moment, Ram looked intently at the candy house. They actually do have to bring back some evidence, or else Subaru's infamy will not be cleared. Though it's not the kind of infamy that will be cleared by finding a single candy house, but you'll get your hands filthy when the chocolate melts. You won't get filthy with the pastry. Go tear off a wall or two, understood? Let's do just that. Wait. Aren't you two a bit too extreme? Following the instructions of Ram, who was holding her elbows, Rem rolled up her sleeves and set out to pull off a wall. There, a panicked voice and a panicked figure broke in. The one who jumped in front of the surprised duo was a white-haired woman in a black dress. She spread her arms wide, and while protecting the candy house from both Ram and Rem, my oh my, unbelievable. Who would have thought they'd just look at a candy house and unquestioningly start dismantling it? Are kids these days all like that? I would not like to be lumped into kids these days. The wonderful Ram and adorable Rem are incomparable to anybody else. You see that black-haired kid who came by recently nibbled on it soon as he laid eyes on it too, expected no less of Subaru-kun. Rem is just impressed. When they looked at the spot the woman pointed out, there indeed was a dent in the wall where it had been nibbled on. There was no other possible suspect, so just like Rem had been so moved by, it must have been Subaru. Ram however thought of those marks as nothing more than vulgar. So then? I take it you're the owner of this candy house? Yes, that is indeed the case. I am the lord of this candy house, and the evil witch of the forest. Which, is it? Smiling faintly, the woman proclaimed herself to be a witch. Being overpowered by her aura, Rem gave a small gulp. Standing as if to protect that Ram narrowed her light pink eyes. I don't like you. What's this? Do you hate witches? No, I don't care about whatever it is you are, I just don't like your face. My face? For some reason, when she looks at the face of the witch in front of her, a feeling wells up within her like she's seeing her love rival of many, many years. She thought it was quite unreasonable, but that's just how it was, because, nay, Summer is wonderful, indeed, for Ram is Rem's great older sister. My face has presently just been spoken ill of. I wonder if I am allowed to be angry now. Her extended arm being held onto by Ram was in a good mood. The witch in front of those two sisters made a sulking face. Indeed, she felt for the witch as they had been talking while ignoring her, so Ram reflected. You said you were a witch, right? What should we do? I take it then that we can take the house so long as we defeat you, then? No, you can't. Why are we now discussing such a violent thing like defeating me? I see. Rem, seems we can't. Is that so? I jumped to conclusions. Hearing Ram's conversation with the witch, Rem retracted the horn which had sprouted from her forehead. The witch's cheek stiffening for a moment while she was looking at the retracting horn was quite striking. But, if that's the case, how could we obtain the candy house? Isn't it quite strange that you're thinking about obtaining my house in the first place? I live here. I'll have you know. Me, and my daughter. You have a daughter? Hearing the wide-eyed Rem's words, the witch replies that's right with a strangely puffed-out chest. She's a bit of a withdrawn girl, you see. Which is why I made her this candy house. Children like candy, right? With this, I'm sure she will get friends just gathering around it like ants. I see. So the true form of this candy house was a manifestation of your twisted parental love, your daughter. Hey you, that's quite the frightening ignorance. You should know I am usually a more frightful being. Whence Ram had let her pass as just a yapping annoying witch, her attention was piqued by the unexpectedly quiet Rem. Rem? Ah, nay Summer, look at that. After being called out, Rem points towards the candy house. When she did, inside of the house, on the other side of the candy windows, she could see a small girl looking this way. The girl, noticing their gazes, hurriedly closes the oblate curtains and hides. Why are the curtains oblates? I couldn't come up with any curtain like candy. It's edible, so I thought it'd be fine. More importantly, is that girl Miss Witch's daughter? Could I know her name? Beatrice. When the witch answered with her daughter's name, Rem whispered it to herself, and turned towards the house. Then, Miss Beatrice, would you not talk with me? My name is Rem. I would like us to be friends. Ram, together with the witch, gazed at Rem's back as she called out to her, "You won't join your little sister." Rem is doing her best. Ram would not do such a tactless thing. Like a certain witch, I can feel the spite. Putting the witch's whispers aside, Ram truly wanted to see Rem's efforts through. Previously, Rem used to be a more shy person, who closed herself off in her own little garden, scared of the outside world. That very same Rem is now trying to talk to a girl who locked herself up like that, made Ram very proud. The fact that Barusu was the one who made it happen, is Ram's utmost gripe. Nay, Summer. She's not coming out at all. What should I do? She came out when you ripped a wall, didn't she? No, she didn't. Giving the waving Rem a very uncompromising means, the witch immediately rejected it. Ram shook her head, as if to say geez, at the witch's complaint, and Rem's gaze full of expectation, and though she didn't want to be relied on at all, our worrywart eldest sister and our well-put-together youngest sister, we'll bring them and Barusu along too for good measure, and pry her out of there. We really do need Subaru-kun after all. That man's worthless at all but this. Smiling wryly at the gleamy-eyed Ram met eyes with the girl inside the candy house, who peeked at the outside. They've not even exchanged words, and yet she's decided to drag her outside, and make her Rem's friend. Well then, we'll be leaving for now. Keep your necks clean while you wait for us. That phrasing is scary. Will you be fine without a guide? It's easy to get lost in these woods. Foolish question. Shrugging her shoulders at the witch's questioning, Ram turned back towards the thick tree foliage of the forest, catching Rem next to her in her periphery, for Ram is Rem's great elder sister. There is no way she would ever do something as infantile as getting lost in the woods. Yes. Nay, Summer is wonderful. Laughing at the cheerful Rem's words, she takes a bit of the candy window her little sister tore off. While nibbling on that, the two stepped into the forest. Next time, when they bring a bigger crowd and pull out the girl who shut herself in the candy house, whatever will they make her do? Just when did they tear off a window? Such was the shriek-like voice they heard from the witch. As they tasted the surprisingly wool-tasting candy, Ram's lips loosened. Not that it's because of the candy house, but Ram has mellowed out quite a bit, hasn't she? Though a digression, the sisters Ram and Rem headed straight back to the village, gathered up all the children there, and headed back once more for the woods. Then, they splendidly brought out the daughter, and while she was looking at the candy house being torn to bits by the children, the witch whispered thus, "See, told you they'd come crawling and nibble at it like ants, didn't I?"